How's everyone doing? Today I'll be showing you my 4K Ultra HD collection, and 4K Ultra HD is the newest format out there, and it's the top of the line as far as quality and clarity, and the HDR. It just really pops, especially with a lot of the titles that I've been able to see. It's a definite upgrade over Blu-ray and the 1080p, and even upscaling, you could see the difference. Some of the titles just blew me away, so I had to hop on the 4K Ultra HD train. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, especially if you've seen them on 4K Ultra HD, and let me know if you have any recommendations for me to pick up 4K Ultra HD titles. And there are three that I really want to get. The top three on my wish list are Deadpool, The Revenant, and Life of Pi. Love those movies, and I've heard great things about the 4K Ultra HD releases. But now let's go ahead and check out my 4K Ultra HD collection, which is right here, and they're not alphabetized because I haven't had a chance to organize my whole collection yet. I just got new bookcases, so I will do that shortly. First up is Storks, which I have yet to see, so I'll be checking that one out soon. Sully, which this one really impressed me. This is essentially reference quality, and the film is also incredible. I wasn't sure how it was going to work cinematically, but it was impressive. Based on the true story of the Miracle on the Hudson, Tom Hanks gave, in my opinion, an Oscar-worthy performance here. Absolutely love this film, and it looks fantastic on 4K. Next up is Ghostbusters. Not a great movie, but it looks great on 4K. Phenomenal HDR. Some of the CG was impressive as well. I think this would have been better suited with a more talented female cast. Kate McKinnon is decent, but Melissa McCarthy I can't stand. This could have been so much better, and there's better female comedians out there. Cecily Strong was in here. She deserved a bigger role. I think she's hilarious. But yeah, overall the movie wasn't great, but it had some entertaining moments. And again, it looked great in 4K Ultra HD. Next up is Warcraft. This one had some terrible editing issues, but I do like the movie from a fantasy adventure aspect. I had enough merits for me to keep it in the collection. The transfer was decent. It could have been better, especially in certain spots. And the CG didn't really... see, that was one of the things that it brought out the CG issues for me. Next up is Gatsby. I thought this looked phenomenal on 4K Ultra HD. And I think Warner Brothers is doing a good job with their catalog titles. I love this film, and really shined here in the newest format out there, in the top-of-the-line format. Next up is Pacific Rim. For me, this is one of the best 4K Ultra HD releases out there. Absolutely love this one. Great HDR as well. The clarity, the detail, the effects in here really shines. And next up is The Legend of Tarzan, the newest one with Alexander Skarsgård, Samuel L. Jackson, Margot Robbie, and Christoph Waltz. I thought this one was a really good adaptation, a new take on Tarzan, and I thought this one looked decent on 4K Ultra HD, definitely an upgrade over the 1080p, and more details. It does have a bit of a washed out hue, which reflects the tone of the movie, but it still works well. And one of the scenes that always stands out to me, which was a hilarious scene with Alexander Skarsgård and Samuel L. Jackson when they find his brother Gorilla. That one always cracks me up. Next up, there's going to be the Hunger Games collection. Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, Hunger Games Catching Fire, and the original Hunger Games. The original Hunger Games is by far my favorite. I think these are worth, if you're a fan, they're worth picking up on 4K Ultra HD. Overall, the series, to me, it kind of goes downhill as the films go along. The first one, by far, looks great, and I thought is just a phenomenal movie. Jennifer Lawrence is stunning. Great to see her in 4K. And I do want to say, I've already got rid of a few 4K Ultra HD titles that I've got as blind buys, just because I wasn't a fan of the movie or the transfer, and there's no reason to keep them in my collection. I'm not collecting these movies for the sake of collecting them. If I can't see myself ever watching them again, they gotta go. Like, for instance, I got rid of Central Intelligence, I got rid of Snow White and the Huntsman, Winter's War. Those are a few ones that came to mind. I think I've got rid of a few other ones. So yeah, I'm just keeping the 4K Ultra HD titles in my collection that I can see myself watching again. And that's the case for all of my movies that I have in my collection. Next up is Argo. I thought this had a nice uptick of details in it, and a really good movie as well. Argo Fuck Yourself. Had to say that in there. The Town. Oh, love this film. One of the best heist movies out there. Great cast. My only slight criticism, this is me nitpicking, is I thought the romance aspect was a little bit much, especially at the end. But this one looked great in 4K Ultra HD as well. Again, a nice uptick on the detailing. And especially with some of the sequences of the shootouts and things like that. Great clarity on that. And Goodfellas, this one actually really surprised me on the transfer for it. Wasn't expecting it to be as nice as it was. This was another one that had good HDR, deeper blacks, and good detailing too. And just a phenomenal movie. One of the best gangster movies out there. So many memorable scenes and lines in that movie. Joe Pesci just cracks me up in that one. I Am Legend. Now, I know a lot of people weren't a fan of this film, but I'm a big fan. I think it's the best adaptation of the I Am Legend book by Richard Matheson, who's from New Jersey, by the way. Definitely way preferred over Vincent Price's Last Man on Earth and then Omega Man, both of which are super dated. My only criticism about this one is the 4K. It kind of brings out the CG issues with this one. That's really about the only thing that I didn't care about for the transfer. Besides that, I thought it was a really good transfer for it. And again, I love the movie, although the ending has some issues. But of course, everybody knows that. But still, the best adaptation by far. Next up is Jason Bourne. This was decent. You know, it's action entertainment. You know, I loved seeing Alicia Vikander in 4K Ultra HD. That's one of the best things I could say about that. But it had some good action sequences in there. War Dogs with Jonah Hill and Miles Teller. This one was really entertaining as well. Jonah Hill, I'm not a big fan of his at all, but he plays the same character in all of his movies, and he basically plays the same obnoxious character here too. But this is probably one of his best performances. And again, nice detailing in that one. Deepwater Horizon. This one impressed the heck out of me. Fantastic HDR. The explosions, the effects, they just pop. Incredible. And again, I love the team-ups with Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg and the based on true story films with Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, and then Lone Survivor. I think Lone Survivor is my favorite, then Patriots Day, then Deepwater Horizon, but I don't think there's really a wrong answer there. Let me know which is your favorite of the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg based on true story films. Great cast in here, and I really loved what they did with this film. I had heard about this all on the news, you know, based on the true story with the big oil spill. But I didn't really hear about the people involved with it, and I thought that was a really nice touch, adding kind of that personal effect to it and great emotions throughout the film. The Accountant, which also really surprised me as far as a film. I wasn't expecting much from when I saw the trailers for it. It just looked like, you know, an action overload, and I didn't really like his character from what I saw from the trailers. And then I saw the movie, and I was blown away. A fantastic film. But I did see the kind of twist coming with the certain characters and their relationships in it. But I still loved it, and I thought this looked really good too on 4K Ultra HD. There's some shots where, you know, it's a little bit darker hue, but still, again, deeper blacks, and again, nice detailing. The Girl on the Train. This one reminded me a lot of Gone Girl. And this is another one where I was able to see the twist coming as far as, you know, the whodunit. But great performance from Emily Blunt. Next up is The Secret Life of Pets, which I thought this was a really entertaining movie, especially Kevin Hart's voice acting here as the bunny. That was the best part for me. This one could have been a little bit better. The transfer isn't that much better than the Blu-ray, but still, it's noticeable. John Wick, which, I thought this looked phenomenal on 4K Ultra HD. Some great HDR, especially in the detailing too, with John Wick, just the face, everything about it, the shootouts, the explosions, the fight sequences, and just a phenomenal action movie. Next up is Arrival. This one, I'm not going to say it was a disappointing transfer, but I just think it was the way that the film was made, with just a kind of a washed out hue, again reflecting the tone of the film. A lot of grays and blacks. The blacks are, you know, darker, so that kind of is a positive for it, but it's not one of the best films for 4K Ultra HD. But still a really good sci-fi film about, you know, aliens coming down, but it's really more about human nature and the way that they interact. There's only one, you know, again, I nitpick. There's a line of dialogue towards the end, which I thought didn't really work. But I did figure out, you know, again, the relation of certain characters. I thought that was kind of predictable. But again, if you see enough movies, you can see that certain things are just formulaic. That's just the way most movies are these days. Patriots Day, this one again blew me away. I wasn't expecting to like it quite as much as I did. I thought this was one of the best movies from last year. A great take, again, based on a true story about the Boston Marathon bombing, and just the way that it plays out, the intensity of it, just the emotional connection that you get with the characters. And just, love that one. I can't recommend it enough. Again, great performance from Mark Wahlberg and great team up with Peter Berg. I hope they do more movies in the future. Next up are the Harry Potter films, years 5 through 7. We've got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. These transfers were decent. It's definitely, it's noticeable over the Blu-rays, but the transfer could have been a little bit better in my opinion. There's certain issues that I have with them, but still decent. Lucy is one of the best transfers out there in my opinion. Absolutely love this film and the transfer. Scarlett Johansson in 4K, incredible. Great action sequences, great clarity as well. That was one of the things that really shined for me. Sicario. This, again, was another one that blew me away as far as the film, and Emily Blunt in here too. The whole cast was great. Loved Benicio del Toro. And this looked great on 4K Ultra HD too. Great detailing. The HDR worked well. I liked a lot of usage of the blacks were really dark. And this one, again, directed by Denis Villeneuve, who also did Arrival. He's becoming just one of the best modern directors out there. He's done so many great films, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. Next up, Lone Survivor, my favorite of the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg, based on true story events. Love this film, just heart-wrenching, and I love the special features on here as well, where you talk to some of the real-life people involved, and again, I would definitely recommend this one. And it had good detailing too. Next up is Passengers. This is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, which I thought this one looked really good too on 4K. Nice detailing. The effects look good. That was one of the things that stood out. Again, I love, sci-fi. It's my second favorite genre behind horror, and that's one of my only issues as far as 4K Ultra HD. There needs to be more horror title releases. There's been a few overseas, but not many here in the States, and there needs to be way more. I mean, horror is one of the genres that kind of pushes the collector market. I mean, how many releases of Halloween and Evil Dead have there been? And horror fans usually buy them all. So there definitely needs to be some horror releases out there, but beautiful steelbook too. Next up is another 4K Ultra HD steelbook, and this is The Labyrinth. Again, a great film, nostalgia for me, classic Jim Henson. Love the heck out of it. Jennifer Connelly, David Bowie as the Goblin King. If you've seen Labyrinth, let me know who your favorite character is in here. Hoggle, Ludo, love the artwork. Next up is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This one surprised the heck out of me. I wasn't expecting to like it quite as much as I did. Very entertaining. I love the cast here, great cast interaction, and I thought this looked really good too with the HDR, some great detailing and clarity, especially with the effects and the creatures. I thought the creatures really popped in here, all the beasts, if you will. And again, great story too. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, I think you'll really enjoy this one. Even if you're not a big Harry Potter fan, I think you can really appreciate this one. Because I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan out there, but this one to me, I actually prefer Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them over the Harry Potter films. Allied with Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard, which I still need to check out. Excited to check that one. Alright, I had to stop the video because I realized probably my favorite released on 4K Ultra HD, The Shallows. I had it in the other room and I completely blanked and forgot to put this over here with the rest of the collection. I have my horror movies separate from everything else as far as genres. It's the only genre that I separate. And to me, this was probably my favorite release on 4K Ultra HD. The clarity in here is incredible. This is the one that really got me hooked on 4K Ultra HD. I watched the Blu-ray first and then I watched the 4K Ultra HD. Oh my gosh. Just so immersive. Blake Lively, oh, the whole setting in here was so lush, and again, just pops. I can't even describe it. This is, to me, one of the best 4K Ultra HD releases out there. Incredible detail, just so phenomenal. I love the movie too. The best shark attack movie since Jaws. A great character-driven shark attack movie. It's the only horror 4K Ultra HD title that I own. Again, there's releases overseas for Dawn of the Dead, the original one, which they actually had to recall that 4K Ultra HD release. They sent out replacement discs, which I don't think a lot of people who even own that are aware of. I've heard, seen some people talk about it, and other people were shocked they didn't know. And there's one for Texas Chainsaw Massacre over in Germany. The Dawn of the Dead one was, I believe, an Italian release. I think there's a couple other ones, but there definitely need to be way more horror 4K Ultra HD releases. And as soon as I got done finishing this video, this just arrived in the mail. Beautiful looking slipcover, very reflective. You can see all the shine to it. I haven't been able to check it out in 4K yet because it just came in, but this is La La Land, a great homage to classic Hollywood and musicals, and directed by Damien Chazelle and Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in there. They have good cast chemistry. They've been in a few movies together, including Crazy Stupid Love, which is one of my all-time favorite rom-coms now. Definitely looking forward to revisiting this one on 4K Ultra HD. And I can't get over how beautiful that slipcover is. The Best Picture winner. Just kidding. That was a crazy but memorable Oscar moment. And it looks like there's a ton of special features on here. Over 3 hours of special features, so can't wait to delve into that as well. But there you go, La La Land on 4K. So there we go, there is my 4K Ultra HD collection. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, and especially if you've seen them on 4K Ultra HD. And let me know what the best 4K Ultra HD release is in your opinion. And let me know if you have any 4K Ultra HD recommendations for me to pick up. Again, I already have Deadpool, Revenant, and Life of Pi on my wish list. Those are the top 3 that I plan to pick up next. So there you go. There's my 4K Ultra HD collection. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and take care.